sitting on my floor in my bedroom about to spill some tea. I'm going to talk about the Disney Cruise Line Castaway Club program today. Okay, so let's talk about the Castaway Club program. I want to introduce you to it first, and then I'll get into my ideas about it. So let's talk first about what it is, and then I will give you the opportunity to leave gracefully, because I'm sure my opinions will not be something that everyone agrees with. But first, let's talk about it. The Castaway Club is a loyalty program for Disney Cruise Line. So when you go on your very first Disney cruise, you are automatically enrolled in the Disney Castaway Club. When you go to the Disney Cruise Line website, you either log in or you make a login, and they will somehow link it to you so they know how many cruises you've been on. You can see that on the Disney Cruise Line website. Once you have been on one cruise, on your second cruise, you become silver, which is the very lowest tier. On your 6th cruise, you become gold, and on your 11th cruise, you become platinum. So there's the 3 levels: silver, gold, and platinum. After platinum, there is nothing. So once you have been on 11 cruises, you have reached the top of their loyalty program. Personally, I think it's sort of slim to have only 3, but we'll get into that. They do have some really great incentives for sailing. But what I think is odd is that the Disney Castaway Club program is based on the number of sailings, not the number of nights that you have been on the ship, which is interesting because most other cruise lines have a loyalty program, but most other cruise lines have based their loyalty program on number of nights that you have spent on the ship. And Disney Cruise Line, I think, is the only one, or one of the only ones, that bases your loyalty level on the number of sailings. So a 2-night cruise weighs the same as a 14-night cruise, and personally I don't agree with that. It doesn't matter. But that's sort of why I have come up with these ideas. So now that I have sort of introduced you to the idea, the concept of the Castaway Club, I am going to link in the description box to a website where you can look at all of the Castaway Club incentives, the room gifts, and all of the other discounts and stuff. If you're interested in that, I'm not going to talk about it. You can go read about it in at the link in the description box. But for now, I'm gonna get comfy because I want to talk about my ideas for restructuring it. I think that there are some serious flaws with the Castaway Club. What they have now is fine, but it's not exciting, and I just don't think that now that they have 5 ships, I just don't think that they have thought it out. They've only got the 3 levels, the 3 tiers, and so many people are platinum already, and I feel like wouldn't it be fun to have something new and different, like a new structure to the Castaway Club program? So these are my ideas. If you don't like alternative Disney ideas, if that offends you in any way, if you like the current Castaway Club, just feel free to leave and I'll see you. You don't have to agree with me, but you also don't have to watch. So if you know that this is going to offend you, just don't watch. If you're interested, stay. Let's talk, let's chat. If you have some ideas of your own, I would love to hear them. Leave them in a comment, because I know that this is not everything that could be done, but these are some of the things that I would really, really, really like to see. I'm gonna start by telling you how I would structure it. I would have 5 tiers instead of 3. I just like the number 5, and maybe 7, because eventually they're gonna have 7 ships. So maybe 7 tiers makes more sense, and it gives people something to aspire to. Here's the thing, when you only have 3 tiers, and I'm platinum now, I have nothing to aspire to. It's not that I'm gonna stop cruising with Disney because I've already reached platinum. It's just that there's nothing really new and exciting to make me think, oh, I really, really, really want to get there. Let's book a bunch of Disney cruises, And maybe that's just me, but I'm just, I don't know, not bored, but not incentivized to do a bunch of cruises to reach a certain level. Does that make sense? So I would switch to, okay, I've almost talked myself into 7, just because they're gonna have 7 ships. but I'll say 5 because that's what I have written down. I think 5 tiers is better than 3. And 7 might be a bit much, but I do like the idea of 5 instead of 3. And I would do it by the number of nights spent on the ship rather than the number of sailings, just because I don't think it's fair to people who, let's say they fly to Europe from Kansas and they spend 8 nights on a Mediterranean cruise, or they spend 11 nights on a Baltic cruise, and their cruise that they spent so much money on has the same weight as like a 3-night cruise on the Dream out of Port Canaveral. I mean, I don't know. I just think that the number of nights spent on the ship should have more weight than just booking a cruise. So I would weigh it by nights spent on the ship, and I would also incentivize concierge level guests. So I would count nights spent in a concierge stateroom by like 1.5 or 2. So let's say you spent 7 nights in a concierge stateroom, I'd count that for 14 nights, just because it is so much more expensive, and you kind of get different incentives for being in concierge. But I just think that counting your level on the ship, like your concierge stateroom, for a different weight than like a normal stateroom, would be appreciated by guests. I know that I've stayed in concierge a couple of times, and so I think that that would make a difference. But that's, I don't know, that's what I would do. I would weigh it by nights on the ship, and nights spent in concierge I would count for double. So I have some ideas for new gifts. If you're familiar with the Castaway Club program and the current gifts, the stateroom gifts that you get, the current incentives that you get, I'm not going to go into detail here, but you get like a backpack, and you get your lanyard when you get to your stateroom, or I guess you get a check-in. But then like they have other incentives like a free meal at Palo, or a free bottle of wine, or box of truffles, or I think the other one's a cheese plate. But there are things that you can choose from, sort of depending on the level that you're on. I think some of those are really great. But if we're going to have additional levels to the Castaway Club, I think we need additional gifts too. So these are some incentives, gift ideas that I would have in my restructured Castaway Club program. For the stateroom gift, I think everyone in the Castaway Club gets a stateroom gift, and right now it is the sling bag, and so many people are tired of the sling bag, myself included. I just am tired of it being the same bag. So I would like a new bag, or, and I prefer this idea, instead of just like a new bag even like every year, because you can't change it all that often. I'm sure Disney bought 5 million of those sling bags and they're still trying to get rid of them. Currently on, I think it's a platinum level, you can choose between a bottle of Prosecco, a box of chocolate truffles, and I think it's a cheese plate sent to your stateroom. So like those are 3 choices that you can make. You know, choose one. We always go for the sparkling wine, but I would like to have a choice for my stateroom gift. And I'd like to be able to choose between a reusable tumbler and straw, and I don't care if it's like a tumbler with a screw-on lid and a straw that's not airtight. I don't care if it's like a Tervis tumbler or something similar, but I'd like to have a reusable cup and straw as an option, because I could see that being something that I would use on the cruise. We use the backpack on the cruise because it comes in handy as like a carry-on around the ship. You've got your backpack and you've got all of your other stuff. But I would like to have like a reusable cup and straw as an option. I'd like to have like the choice of a beach kit for kids, you know, like sand shovels and like sand forms. I don't know that it has to be that, but our coloring book or coloring kit I think could be fun. But I'd like to see that as an option for our stateroom gift. It could be a reusable water bottle. I think that would be really cool. It doesn't have to be a big one, you know, it doesn't have to be like this. It could be something smaller. It could be like one of those Swell water bottles. It doesn't have to be big, but I would like the idea or the option of a reusable water bottle, and all of these things could be about the same value. I'm thinking $15 value, you know? And then the other option I would like is the option to donate the backpack that would have been sent to your room, donate the backpack filled with school supplies on behalf of you or Disney Cruise Line or whoever, but to donate the backpack to a kid who needs school supplies. I really like that idea, because then it's not a souvenir I have to take home, and it's something good that I can do for someone else. I really like that idea. So if I'm not gonna have the backpack, I would really love the option to send the backpack to someone else who can use it, who might need it. So those are my thoughts for the stateroom gift. Now I want to talk about some other options, and I haven't thought this out enough to kind of place these for the different levels. I have a couple of things that I've thought for like the higher levels, but for like, I don't know, I guess this would be a lower level thing. I would really like to have the higher, or the people with more cruises or people with more nights, the higher level Castaway Club members, I'd really like for them to have priority seats in the dining room. I'm thinking about like in Tiana's place, there's the stage in the back, and most people want to sit near the stage because they want to see the performers and they want to be near Princess Tiana when she comes out on stage. So I don't know, I just feel like prioritizing seating for the upper level Castaway Club guests, unless they request a table elsewhere, I feel like that would be a nice gesture, is to kind of prioritize them, you know, closer to the stage. Also, I would like to have an option, or maybe not an option. What I'd like is for one of my gifts as maybe a level 3 Castaway Club member, I want to be given the option of reserved seats at my show of choice in the Walt Disney Theater. So reserved priority seats in the middle section, you know, that are taped off with my name on them for the show of my choice. So let's say there's a movie premiere that's gonna happen on the cruise, and I want priority seats for that. I want to be able to choose that, you know what I mean? And personally, I feel like reserved seats, either in the Walt Disney Theater or in the Buena Vista Theater, or even for fireworks, like a reserved area for a Castaway Club level is really cheap to implement. Like, you already have the show, you've already got the seats, it doesn't cost you anything, maybe just a little bit of labor time on behalf of the cast members, but there are already like ushers in the theater. So I don't know, I just feel like that would be really easy to implement, and to be able to choose my seat for my priority seat for the show, instead of having to worry about getting there late and having to sit on the aisle or all the way in the front on the sides, you don't get to see much, you know. I don't know, I like that idea. I think that reserved seats for the show of my choice is pretty high on my list of, you know, something that they could implement, because I think that it would be so easy and I would really appreciate it, and I know that there are other people who would definitely appreciate it too. My next gift or incentive idea is free laundry. I don't mean like free laundry the whole cruise, I just mean like either one free load of laundry done by your stateroom host, or even like $10 of, or $5 of, or maybe just like one load of laundry in the laundrette on the cruise, or like one free press of an evening gown or a tuxedo or suit for your cruise. Like, I just think that they already have the laundry facilities on board, and the value of that has to be pretty low cost to them, but it would increase my value of the cruise. I don't know, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see them give me something like, you know, we'll press your evening gown for free, and, you know, even if it's not priority, you know, pressing, I just would like to have them offer that to me as a part of the Castaway Club loyalty program. For like, maybe I'm trying to think of the levels as I'm going along here. Maybe for level 4, I'm thinking for this one, for an exclusive meet and greet with the Fab Five plus Daisy. Okay, I would like to have those characters, the classic characters, in like, maybe let's say a dining room or a theater or a lounge or something, and so I get to pick a time, or they just, you know, have all of us in there at once. But I would like to have an exclusive meet and greet and photo opportunity, group photo opportunity with those characters. Because how often do you get to take a picture with more than just one character at a time I just think that that would be so cool, because you've already got the cast members on the ship who are really good friends with these characters, and you've already got the character meet and greets scheduled. But wouldn't it be cool to have a group photo opportunity for those people who are higher up on your Castaway Club like incentive program? I just think that would be really cool to have a group shot and to have that be sort of exclusive to that incentive level. And then maybe for level 4 or 5, I'd like to have a bridge tour or a kitchen tour, or even like a mixer with some of the cast members that are in the theater, or maybe like an officers meet and greet that's just exclusively for the highest tier of Castaway Club members on longer cruises, because obviously you couldn't do this every week. You couldn't do it twice a week on the shorter cruises, but I think on cruises that are longer than 7 nights, I think it would be really cool to have like a mixer with the officers, or a mixer with the theater cast, or like a bridge tour that's not virtual. I just think that would be really cool, because it would be a smaller group of people. I don't even know if they can do the kitchen tours anymore. I know they used to do them, but I don't know if they can do them anymore. I don't know, but that's something I'd like to see. For people who are like my friends who have been on 49 cruises, I was thinking about this while I was on the cruise with them, and how they were not upgraded to a better stateroom. I think they had an inside stateroom on deck 2, and they were moved to deck 7, but they had the same category of stateroom and they weren't upgraded. But there were other people on our cruise who were upgraded to a better stateroom category, and I just feel like this would be so easy for Disney Cruise Line to upgrade those guests who are higher in the Castaway Club program. So I would, if it was me, if I was in charge, I would upgrade based on that kind of priority. I would prioritize upgrades for people who have been on the ship more nights, is how I would do it. I was also thinking, this is my final idea, okay? Some of you might hate this, but I think it would be really cool to have like people who have been on a ton of cruises, people who have been on the ship for a ton of nights. I mean, even if you've been on the ship 49 times, but you've only done 3-night cruises, that's still almost 150 nights. Like, that's a lot of nights spent on the ship. I would prioritize this for them, for the people who have spent a ton of nights on the ship. I like the idea of a day pass to the concierge lounge. Like, I could choose, if let's say it's me and I'm sailing and I'm in the top tier, and I get to choose the day that I'm gonna spend, you know, in the concierge lounge. So I get a day pass. It's only gonna work, sort of like the rainforest room. I get a day pass. I get to go into the concierge lounge anytime that day and spend the day there. Like, I really like that idea. Wouldn't that be cool? Or like if the concierge lounge is, you know, totally considered off limits, then maybe just like a complimentary rainforest pass for those people. Like, it wouldn't work for me because I've never used that, and I have this thing about like community showers, but wouldn't that be cool? I don't know if Disney could do that because Senses, I think, is an external contractor, but I think that that would be a really cool incentive for higher level Castaway Club members. Anyway, those are my thoughts and ideas for the Castaway Club. If I was going to restructure it, those are some of the changes I would make. I hope it makes sense to you. I would really, really love to hear your ideas for the Castaway Club. If you like the way it is, but you listened open-mindedly to my spiel, thank you. And, you know, kudos to you. I'm glad you like it. I always am looking for ways to improve things, and so that's just a habit that I have, and this is an idea for a video that I have been intending to make for 2 years, and so I wanted to sit down and film it before my list of ideas got any longer. But if you have additional ideas for changing the Castaway Club, if you liked some of my ideas, if you hated some of my ideas, I would love to hear from you, because this is something that I think about in my free time, and I don't have a good reason why. It's just something that I think about. I have a list in my Padfolio, like an actual handwritten list. I don't have it in front of me because it's downstairs, but it doesn't matter. I'm sure you don't care. Anyway, I'm done talking, I'm done rambling. I had a good time talking about this, and it feels so good to actually have this video filmed now. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. You guys will see me in another video really, really soon. Bye.